Welcome to Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is episode 136 of Fringe Fanatics. I am Chris Zane.
And I'm Chad Lee. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you all greatly for tuning in. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and follow us on all things social media. And make sure to rate us 5 stars wherever you can, even if it's just to your friend. That's what we need. 5 stars always and forever.
Hit that share button too.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, we are back. We're kind of in the doldrums of the summertime. There's not a lot to talk about.
You got the French Open that just happened.
Yeah, that was pretty entertaining.
F1.
I didn't watch any of it.
I almost decided, I suggested making Alcaraz the DDOE.
Okay.
That was, I mean, we can always switch it up.
We could.
It's nothing set in stone.
That's true.
Dude, it was nuts.
We fly by the seat of our pants. Wasn't it like 5.5 hour?
It was 5.5 hours. I'm not a big tennis fan, but I have a lot of respect
Don't
for
lie,
tennis.
dude. You're all about getting on the clays.
I mean, can't you tell, man, from my closet that you
volleying,
can see right here, all of the polos in there?
Yeah, the Nike sweatbands.
Dude, that was the one sport that I think I might have told you this a couple times, but I sucked at tennis. You know,
I took a couple of tennis lessons for like a summer. I was okay, but I never
it's hard.
It is hard.
I kept hitting it over the fence. You know, I'm used to baseball.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna hit the hell out of this.
Grip it and rip it, man. That's all I know.
John Daly, man.
But dude, yeah, Alcaraz, man, he came back. I think he was 3 sets down, and then came back to win it against Sinner. So it was 1-2, Sinner and him. I mean, they were talking like this is like the new Jovic and Djokovic and Nadal. This is the new Federer Nadal.
I heard that as well. It was like the new.
It was nuts, man. He had like clay all over his back. I mean, these guys 5.5 hours.
That's why I think some of them can even go like 8.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
And sometimes they can go like 2 days because they just take a break.
I don't know why they go that long. I don't quite understand it.
I don't either, but that's what
badass.
they do. That's what they do.
So, yep. We are in the lulls of things. There's not a whole lot going on. We did just have a massive UFC, but we will get to all that. First, Chris, how was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty good, man. Things have been rip-roaring. So Saturday, I kind of did what you did the other week and just vegged out for the majority of the day.
Sweet.
Meryl was getting ready. She had a big, not big, but it was like a private event that she was reading tarot at. So she was getting ready to go to that. So all day, I just kind of hung out, played video games, got really into the Star Wars Jedi Survivor game.
Cool, man.
Played that for quite a bit. Got frustrated for a while because it's like one of those games where like you'll get stuck on it, and it's all about like timing because you got like block right, and if you don't block right,
that's how
like,
Assassin's Creed was. Man.
Yeah,
you can't even jump off a building without the right timing.
Yeah, so I did that for the majority of the day, and then I went ham on some weeds because all that rain has just made the weeds in the backyard just out of control.
Yeah,
so
the rain finally stopped.
Yeah, now it's 90 degrees all the time.
90 degrees, muggy.
Yeah. So I found some new like weed killer that's safe for dogs. I can't remember the name of it now. But it smells crazy.
Oh whoa!
It almost smells
like
like bug spray.
Okay.
I don't know what all is in it, but it's supposed to be like all natural stuff. But yeah, the whole like area around the house just reeked like this
That's
weed
how
spray.
You know it works.
Yeah, and it is working. I mean, the weeds are getting all dried up and gray, but I'm gonna have to do another round of it. But and then I got ready, watched some UFC fights.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I watched the majority of them.
Cool. They were good.
Those were pretty good. Yeah. And then Sunday, I got a little intoxicated on Sunday. And then helped the Knee Circles boys. So that was what my Sunday consisted of. And then, now back to work. And it's already a rip-roaring week. So.
And we're already into like the 10th day of June, man. It's just
I know,
like
it's
flying
crazy.
by. It's like
it's
crazy.
Nuts.
It's
like it was
day.
just May yesterday. And it rhymes.
Yeah, 10 days ago.
Just in time.
Yeah.
For you to tell me about your weekend.
Timing worked out. Well, that sounds like a good time, man. I miss those Knee Circle boys. The good times.
Yeah. Oh, we did finish watching Righteous Gemstones. We finished that.
They wrapped it up really well, didn't they?
They did. I don't think there's going to be any more. So I
No,
think that's it.
that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I don't know what else you would do. It's like he said, you just be like, it's like another.
I was surprised they came out with that season. I thought the season before that they kind of wrapped it up, but they kept going with it. But they did. They kind of wrapped things up in a perfect manner.
Yeah, the Megan Mullally, I think that's her name.
Judy.
John Goodman's new girlfriend.
Oh, Ron Swanson's wife.
Yes,
yeah,
I think
know
it's
what you're
Megan
talking-
Mullally.
Yeah.
The 69 scene was pretty hilarious.
Oh God, dude!
And then afterwards,
he's like, "Dad, you got pre-cum on it." Oh man,
Daddy came. Daddy came.
He's walking out with the photo and stuff. Oh, the show's hilarious, man. And then Sean William Scott in it was really good.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Well, I kind of had an inkling that what happened. But then I was like, nah. But then,
it ended up being right.
Yeah. So, I would recommend watching it. We've also kind of been, I think we might have talked about this last week, but doing what you did, but not with 28 Days Later. We are going to do that too. But we've continued watching some of the Final Destinations.
So
we got to 3.
Did I tell you we did that too?
Did you?
It was maybe 2 weekends back. I think it was 2 weekends back. We watched because I think she and I were the same, where we had seen all of the first 3, but we had seen the 4th and 5th one to get ready for this new one. And after watching those, we were like, yeah, we don't need to watch. They are so bad.
Even into the second one, I was just like, dude, these Rube Goldberg death sequences is just so much. Like, and then they play on it way too much. Like, as soon as a new scene happens, it's like everything you think is the beginning of them dying.
Yeah.
And so you're just focused on that the whole time. But it is super cheesy. They are pretty terrible, like mid 2000s, late 2000s,
the CGI,
early 2010.
Even like the fourth one, the fourth one was god awful. I mean, it's like their budget.
We got to watch the 4th one still, but I'm just like,
you're gonna laugh, dude. And how they end it, they don't even really end it. It's just like another death scene, and you're just like, what the fuck, man? That's it?
This is it?
Oh, dude. And then I had a coworker go see the new one, the 5th one. Or no, it would have been the 6th one, I think. Yeah. The 6th one. And he was like, no, it was stupid. Yeah.
I just know Devin Sawa was in it, I think. The first guy. He was in the first one.
Oh, Idle Hands.
Yeah, Idle Hands.
Yeah.
Sawa.
Yep.
Yeah. I heard he was back in it, so like that would be a reason to watch. But I'm not gonna go pay movie ticket
I'm not gonna
prices
go
to go watch it. So
no.
But yeah,
that's cool.
We were doing that. So but anyways, take us to your weekend.
Yeah, so Friday night we decided we watched a movie. We got some Chili's, stayed in, and we watched this new movie called Locked.
Green or red?
What?
Green or red chili?
Oh no, Chili's from Chili's.
Chili's,
baby
back ribs.
Got that triple dipper, man. That triple dipper is always good.
Yeah.
So then it's got a Bill Skarsgård in it. It's a Sam Raimi movie. It's got a really Anthony Hopkins plays the villain in it. But it's a very original idea where this guy is kind of a scumbag and he tries to steal cars, and then
I did see the previews for
ends up getting locked into it.
It's like some high-tech death car.
Yeah. And it was really entertaining. It's definitely worth watching. Sam Raimi movies are always.
Is it almost like I can't remember the name. It might have just been called Buried, but that one with Ryan Reynolds where he gets buried alive.
No,
and like
it's not
the whole
like
movie's like in the coffin.
In that one.
Yeah.
I started to get to like, all right, is he gonna move out of the car eventually? And yeah, he does. So because I was starting.
That's
to get
what I was
like,
wondering. Is he going to be in the car the whole time?
No, but Anthony Hopkins, man, just like because he voices like he talks through the car.
So you just hear his voice.
It's like, dude, he's a legend, man.
Yeah.
Hannibal Lecter. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with him, a little Chianti and some Fafa beans.
Exactly. It's worth the watch. And I mean, Bill Skarsgård, dude, he's a fucking legend. Nosferatu, man. Yeah, he's already.
Did you watch that movie where he's like
the Crow, the new one?
No, did you watch it?
I refuse to, man.
It looks so stupid.
That's a cult classic, and I'm not going to touch that sequel.
That's fair.
Reboot.
Yeah, I've only seen the trailer, and I was like, that looks stupid.
That's how I felt about like King of the Hill coming back. I'm like, dude, this. Like
I'm
5
members.
It, I'm going to.
So many people are dead now.
Yeah, it's just not the same. It's like, why did you need to? It was so good back then.
Yeah, but that one I can't remember what it's called. It's like it's like an Airbnb, and him and this chick like double book the same Airbnb.
Oh, Barbarian.
Yes.
Yeah. You guys watch that one because it's on Netflix?
We watched that one a while ago, but
Okay.
that one was
God,
one of
so weird.
Yeah, like the whole time you're like, all right, he's gonna kill her soon, and then all of a sudden you're like, and I have no idea what's happening.
It took a turn, man. She wanted to rewatch it, and I was like, you can on your own. Like, it was good.
The first time you see the monster, I laughed. I was
just
like, no way.
What? But that's what's crazy. That's what's in right now.
Yeah.
It's like you'll make a really suspenseful movie,
And then just
it's kind of
go weird.
They'll have all the jump scares like kids like, and then it just goes dumb. Just so stupid. But like it's kind of like B movies have morphed their way into like becoming like blockbuster movies now.
Yeah, it is. That does seem to be the end thing.
Yeah.
There's that movie Bring Her Back, and I've heard
I can't wait to watch that.
We're talking about
that
one.
looks
yeah
just terrifying, man. Yeah.
But anyways, continue.
Yeah, so Locked was really good thriller. Saturday I always forget what we fucking do Saturday. I went and got my oil change, came back, I ran and got her a bunch of bath bombs and stuff from the mall. Anytime I'm like within 5 miles of a Lush, it's like mandatory. I gotta stop and get her some. Bombs. She loves them. But
gotta keep her happy.
Yep. And then Saturday night we grilled brisket burgers. Ooh. I picked jalapenos from my jalapeno. I don't have a garden.
Yeah, you
but
pick
from my pot.
You pick a peck of pickled peppers.
Exactly. But then, so we got a bunch of pepper jack cheese from Costco, so we had to use it. So instead of like doing regular burgers, I did pepper jack cheese, portobello mushrooms, jalapenos sauteed on that brisket burger. Gourmet, dude.
Nice.
Gourmet. It was awesome. Yeah. Then I watched the fights. That was awesome. And then Sunday, we took the dogs for a good walk around the lake over there. And we just chilled. I played some Madden against. I tried playing online for the first time. Barely beat a 10-year-old. Yeah, and I didn't even know anybody was on the other line. He just starts talking. I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm like this kid from Louisiana." I was like, "This is fucking weird."
You should like follow Fringe Fanatics.
Shut up, dude, right? He was like, my mom's like friends with Justin Reed and all this. It was like he was like trying to sound cool and stuff, but I said as soon as he said he was 10 years old, I was like, God, if I lose to this kid, it's gonna be embarrassing. But he was like, I've got over like 100 hours on that, and I was like, you probably got way more than me then. So
yeah. Well, good on kicking that little kid's ass.
Yeah,
don't ever let him win. No, and if they start to, just turn it off.
Just quit
turn
the
back of the system off.
Yeah,
and it's like you just got booted from the internet.
That's what I'll do. Yeah.
What happened? I lost the internet, man. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry. Wi-Fi, man. It was good. And
nice.
Then, so I think that's it. Yeah, I can't remember what we did Sunday night. Yeah, it was chill.
That's good.
We started watching that new show, Stick. It's really good.
Oh, I did want to watch that. I heard Mark Maron talking about it on his podcast, which I guess he's ending.
He's like a huge part in it.
Yeah, he's playing his caddy or something.
Yeah, mm-hmm. But it's kind of funny because it's a very similar premise to Happy Gilmore.
Okay.
In a roundabout way, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you'll see.
Okay.
It's
I do
really
want to watch it.
It's made by the same people that did Ted Lasso, and I think you watched that one.
Yeah, right? That was a good show.
Yeah.
The good old Ted Lasso.
But I think that wraps up the week.
The weekend.
Yep.
Well, that means it's time for headlines.
Some sports ball.
Headlines. Get your headlines here.
That's right. It's time for sports ball headlines. And like we said, man, there's a few things in the NFL, but it is a light week this week. So
mandatory mini camps have started.
Yes.
We have seen and we'll get to this news. We might as well hit it right now.
Do it.
I think it hit last Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Thursday or Wednesday. Aaron Rodgers officially signed with the Steelers.
Yes, let's hit it.
Are you ready for some football?
Oh yeah. Mr. AR, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron's in the Steel City.
Yep. Did not show up for OTAs.
We knew that.
Yep. He doesn't do that.
Why would you?
But he did sign with the Steelers for $13 million, but with incentives, he can really get a high raise. Get up to $19 million.
Ooh.
Yep.
Well, we'll see if he can. He was lackluster with the Jets, and we all know how that ended up. It wasn't the best. But he's got a pretty good receiving core there.
He does. George Pickens isn't there anymore. Yeah, Freiermuth's there.
DK Metcalf.
I got Najee. No, Najee left. Jalen Warren's still there. Then they drafted a really good running back too. But dude, I just think how funny would it be if this is the year that he gives Mike Tomlin his first losing season? Like, that would be hilarious.
It would be pretty funny if that was
I
what
would
it
just
was.
think it'd be
yeah.
a total like just blow up in your face moment, man. It's just, you know, there was footage today of the first time seeing him in Steelers unis and throwing to DK Metcalf. So we'll see what's up. I mean, he's working with Arthur Smith, an offensive coordinator he's never worked for before. He was way better with Matt LaFleur 3 or 4 years ago when he was in the MVP.
Well, and Nathaniel Hackett. Let's not forget his little whoopee, Nathaniel Hackett.
And that he was good with Hackett back in Green Bay because, you know, that's like probably about 5 years ago now. I mean, it's been a minute. But
No, 2022 is his last year with the Packers.
oh, was it 2022?
Yeah, it
Wow.
does seem like it's a lot
Holy
longer.
cow.
Yeah, so 2022 is his last year with the Packers. He had
Shit.
64.6% completion percentage, 3,695 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 91.1 rating, and then in 2024 with the Jets, pretty close to the same, 63%. 3,000, little more yards, 3,897, 2 more touchdowns and 1 less interception and a 90.5 rating. So, yeah, I mean, he's 40, he's going to be 42, I believe, when the season starts. So it's going to be interesting to see how into being the head of the Steelers he is. Because I'm interested to see.
Well, and the drama too. I mean, it was all made public when Cam Hayward was like, "This is a dumb move. What are you doing bringing him here? You know, for 1 year. You know, you want to like plan out for the future."
Yeah.
Yep.
But I did see Myles Garrett said he's gonna put him in his grave.
Oh,
so
that is awesome. Myles Garrett's such a badass man. That's cool.
But yeah, so
did you see that footage of Jared Verse? He reached out to Aaron Donald and was like, "Dude, can I work out with you?"
Yeah.
And Aaron Donald, dude, I don't know what he's training for. I think to be an Avenger, if not already an Avenger. But
it's crazy. The dude could still play and probably still be the
Outwork
best defensive lineman.
Anybody, man. It's just the way he works out. It's just insane. But in other news, the Packers released Jair Alexander. We actually discussed this last week with Eric Kleinschmidt.
Yes.
Yep. And, you know, that they were in talks trying to get a contract figured out, but instead they're just like, bye-bye.
Yeah, and it did seem like all things were pointing to last week that they were going to get something worked out.
Yep.
And as we see today, it did not work out. So
he hasn't been too available. He's been hurt a lot. So
yeah, I think he's played in less than half the games in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
so.
And anybody trying to take on that contract that he's going to want, that's a risky move.
Definitely risky. Broncos, big news today. I'm going to take this one.
Of course, you couldn't just do the Nick Chubb one.
No, I didn't. I had to skip it. Yeah, the Broncos are signing J.K. Dobbins. They were going to sign somebody veteran-wise after they let I can't even think of his name right now. Oh, my God. Javonte Williams.
Oh, yeah.
After they let Javonte Williams go, they needed someone who's going to pass protect, especially on third down, and that's where J.K. Dobbins is really good. He also averaged, I believe, like 4.3 yards per carry last year when he was available. I do believe he only played in 14 of 18 games. He had a knee sprain at one point.
It's still 14 games.
I don't think he's going to be the bell cow here.
No.
I think he's going to, him and RJ Harvey are going to kind of be like
that's what it sounds like.
Thunder and Lightning, or Thunder and Thunder.
He was a comeback, or he was a finalist for the comeback of the year.
Yeah, because he did tear his ACL 2 years ago.
Yep.
So this interested to see. Definitely excited about it.
That's pretty cool, man.
J.K. Dobbins is a pretty good player. Aside from the injury history, he's been pretty productive. So
I mean, if he could be what he was at Ohio State, they would be deadly.
Yeah,
because man, he was really good for Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah. Cool thing for the Broncos there. I like it. I love it. I'll take a couple more of it.
Staying in the AFC, one legendary running back found a new home. The Texans signed Nick Chubb to a 1-year, $5 million deal. This is also another one where a guy's coming off of a devastating knee injury. We all saw it. It went super viral where he was like broke away. I think it was against the Steelers too. and he took a hit to the knee, and his knee went the wrong way. He came back last year. I think it took like 6 games for him to come back, and then he was dealing with a foot injury, wasn't quite there, and then they kind of shut him down around like I think week 13 or 14.
Yeah, I mean, it always seems like that. There's going to be some lower leg stuff when you, and sometimes even like upper leg stuff because you're always kind of favoring that leg, and sometimes your other leg is messed up from it. So, yeah, I think he's going to do pretty good. But I mean, look at who he gets teamed up with here with Joe Mixon and Damian Pierce, who was a breakout star there for a little bit, but he kind of fell off.
Even just Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb in the same backfield. I mean,
Yeah.
Joe Mixon, when he was healthy last year, that was really when the Texans offense took kind of a downfall, is when he got hurt.
Yeah.
They were not the same offense.
Yeah, he was definitely catching a lot of stuff out of the backfield and moving the chains, so to speak.
It will be interesting to see if they can get their offensive line fixed. 'Cause
Yeah.
they really didn't do a whole lot in the draft for that or free agency. So
Yeah, and they did have issues with that, keeping C.J. Stroud upright. But back to the Steelers, T.J. Watt is skipping mini camp this week as he is in pursuit of a new contract. I wonder how long this will play out. He's definitely going to he'll be the highest paid ever when he gets paid again. But I don't know how willing the Steelers are to pay him.
yeah, and that's what's nuts. Like I mean, you got to manage the salary cap, but this is one that it's like Chris Jones. It's like you got to pay him. He's that type of level of player. He's a game wrecker. You look at their win-loss record when he's in the lineup and not, it's just like 90% different. So, I mean, they got to figure out something, and that says a lot where Aaron Rodgers, signing with this team is like, you know what, I think I still want $13 million. And that's way different than, the high money that he was making, years past, but still it's like, dude, you think he would just go in there like, let me take the vet minimum,
Yeah,
and just like let me. I mean, that's your last
Prove
chance
yourself,
to try to get
yeah.
a ring, man. This is it. So try to get everybody.
I mean,
else
he did
paid.
take a little bit of a friendly deal, I guess, but all things considered.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Watt misses all 3 days of minicamp, he'll be fined $105,000. No big whoop. His last deal was $112 million, averaging $28 million a year. But as we all know, Mr. Myles Garrett reset that market with his record deal, averaging $40 million and $123.5 million guaranteed. So gonna be over 40 for TJ this time. So
a lot of money for
it's
DN.
crazy.
That's crazy.
It is nuts. But like we said, the guy is a
He's worth
game
it.
wrecker. So we'll see if they can actually get this guy signed. But it is kind of hard when you are in the doldrums of just being over 500 and having no real quarterback future anyways. Because, I mean, realistically, how long can Aaron Rodgers play? And then you're going to give a DN over $40 million, and you haven't drafted anybody really worthwhile.
Will Howard.
Yeah, Will Howard, which it was
Just won a national championship. Yeah, I think it was like 5th or 6th, probably.
Yeah. But you never know. Could be a
It's crazy
sleeper.
how far he fell too. It's like,
Yeah.
just won a national championship, but
Doesn't matter anymore.
the scouts think they know it all.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I do believe that wraps it up for the NFL. We do have kind of big news to hit in college football real quick.
Yeah.
Games are changing.
Games are changing.
390.
I
Check.
haven't played this one in a while.
Check. Red 18. Red 18.
Twitch is probably going to silence it.
Needle
But
dick. Needle dick. Needle dick. Yeah. Your name is Needle Dick.
I knew that this was a good idea.
yes.
All right, so the NCAA has agreed to a settlement that will allow schools to directly pay college athletes. This is big news because that's what they've been fighting for over the last 2 years, in and out of court over it. Effective starting July 1st, 2025, this marks a significant shift in college sports, moving towards a more professionalized system where athletes can be compensated for their contributions. This is different than the NIL. This is
like a salary cap.
salary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the 20.5 is for all sports. I
Yeah.
don't think it's just for football. So it is going to be interesting how schools are going to divvy that all up. But I mean, the other big signing I've heard in terms of like outside of the NCAA, outside of basketball and football was that pitcher that was in the College World Series for Texas. I think
Kennedy.
she got like $1 million
Yeah, so she
NIL
was-
deal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this gets doled out to everybody else, but it's definitely going to kind of change things here.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, NIL was already a curveball enough, but this is going to be the wild, wild west, man. I mean, you got NIL, you got transfer portal, now this. The NCAA does not have control of what's going on because this was a judge that kind of like forced this to happen. Pretty much.
Well, the NCAA hasn't really had control of anything
No,
for a while,
not at all.
other than like putting together the Final Four tournament and when they did have control of the college football playoff.
And the
stuff.
playoff, I thought, was a success last year. I think they're going to try to refine it and make it better. But I mean, it's with this. I mean, God damn, dude, it's going to be nuts. The richest schools are going to be the ones that are going to be able to benefit. But if they're allotting money for each of these schools, I don't quite understand the details of it. The more and more we kind of learn about it, we'll try to share it with you guys. But we're figuring it out as we go.
Yeah, it's super confusing. But there's going to be schools who can't afford to join this stuff. You know what I mean? There's going to be like little schools, like you might have some schools like Colorado State who can't afford to, because you have to, as far as I know, you have to opt into it. And
think about Wyoming, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's schools like that. There's no way they're going to be able to compete. I did hear an interesting take, like what if those schools almost become like a funnel for the bigger schools,
like a farm school.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what the transfer portal is now too.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's like we'll go play somewhere else, and hey, if you're good enough, we'll transfer you back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be crazy because we're not far away from just having a super conference that is basically, it's almost like re-divisioning it. Where you're going to have like the Division One
is like,
and then everything else.
I think a good way to go about it is almost like what the Europeans do with soccer. And I've always thought they should do this with like the NFL.
Relegation.
Yeah. Because it's shitty where you just get perennial bad teams like the Panthers and the Cardinals for years and years.
You got to become a college team now.
Yep. Just sorry, man. You're back. You got to go to school.
Carolina University, bro. Yep. You got to show up for math tomorrow.
Here's your books. Yeah. Shouldn't have sucked last year.
Yeah, too bad. Now you got to go learn not to suck.
But maybe what they do with these schools is, you have like the Champions League, and then you've got like the Premier League, and then it just kind of goes from there. But I don't know. I really don't think they know what they're doing. It's nuts.
Yeah, and I don't know.
I'm glad these athletes are getting paid. It was just city hearing about like these kids winning Final Fours and championships and then going home to eat ramen noodles because that they could not accept money from anything else.
Yeah, well, and then you had guys like Johnny Manziel, who was basically raked over the coals for signing jerseys.
Yeah.
Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush is
the greatest running back of all time, probably. Well, up there in terms of college
He was a
football.
part of the best college game of all time, in my opinion. Yeah.
And they stripped him of his Heisman and then
returned it back. Yeah. Then he was a part of a hilarious commercial, I think, with Affleck about that.
Oh yeah.
That was funny. Yeah. But that's good news. Like I said, as we learn more about it, we will keep you guys updated on it. I'm sure we'll try to figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe what we should do is have on the counter option guys, because Beal, my good buddy, he's on that podcast, and they are all about college football. They're
Yeah, that might be a good idea to give us a rundown of it.
We'll have to hit those guys up.
Hit them up, man. Hit them up.
What do you want to go to next?
Let's hit the Daily Dog real quick because I think we're just gonna double down on the Daily Dog. I'm gonna piggyback on your Daily Dog.
All right, cool.
So it's a double down.
Before you hit
Daily
that,
Dog. What?
Hit Mills Lane, because we'll just parlay this into the UFC.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's get it on!
Let's get it on, indeed.
Yes.
Man, I missed Celebrity Deathmatch. That was a damn good show.
It was a good show.
Yeah. All right. So it was a really good UFC pay-per-view over the weekend. We talked about it last week, previewing it, where Merab took on Sean O'Malley, and it kind of went just as we expected. Actually, Merab had better striking than we've ever seen before. He was really landing some shots on Sean, and then I think
that's kind of what surprised Sean was he was like, oh shit, he's got me in the striking.
And he had to back up a little bit. He didn't know what to do. And then in round 3, by a guillotine choke, almost more of like a darce and kind of a fulcrum choke, he choked Sean out, and I mean, you could just see the disappointment on Sean's face. I mean, this time, like you said, there was no excuses. There's no hip injury. There's nothing. He was fully healthy, and it reminds me a lot when Max Holloway couldn't beat Volkanovski, except the opposite, where those were close fights, and this one, Merab's just beating him pretty easily.
Yeah, it didn't look very close at all. The first round was kind of back and forth a little bit, but then Merab it was just all out.
He took him down, and it was. He always has like a really viral takedown, like he did with Henry Cejudo, where he picked him up, walked him over, and was laughing the whole time, and then slammed him down. But he was having a hard time getting Sean down at first, and then once he got him, he just picked him up like Sean was his little brother, and then just slammed him down.
Yeah. The dude is incredible, and it's like Mr. Joe Rogan said, man, the guy does not get gassed.
No.
I mean, he dominated, and he's hardly out of breath. He hardly has any damage. And he's just like,
and then he's
I don't know who can unstop him.
Like, I don't think
he's backstage with Kayla going crazy.
Yeah.
It's
pretty cool. He said he's going to show up for 317 to support Topuria because they're both from Georgia, Europe. No.
Yeah. Not Atlanta.
Georgia.
Not Georgia. Georgia.
So, I mean, he's really, and now he's kind of in the talks for GOAT in the bantamweight division. I mean, you got Cejudo, who had a good run. He really didn't beat too many people, but then TJ Dillashaw is really up there. But, I mean, it's kind of really
TJ's
looking
got the PED.
That's why he should never be considered for that. And it was the EPOs that it was because of the weight cuts. But, that's... Kayla didn't use EPOs, and we'll get to her.
She was about to die.
And that's why I had to include that picture, dude. We saw the picture, and Chris shared it and went really viral on TikTok, of the difference between her at the weigh-in and then at the ceremonial weigh-in, where she just looks like a totally different person.
Yeah, it really brings into question. I mean, I get it though. She doesn't have anywhere to go. There's no higher weight class.
Yeah, it's stupid. That's it.
You got to make a 145. I could even see a 155, like a heavy. I don't know what you would call it, but I could see why. Why is there
somebody is going to die? I shared it on X later after the fight. Kayla Harrison shared a picture of her in the sauna, and she looks like she's from The Walking Dead. I mean, she looks like she's dying, and she literally is. If the doctor was to take levels of her, hydration levels and stuff like that, they would consider her that because it was bad.
Yeah.
And when she was asked about it later, she was it was a humbling kind of interview where she said she had to go to a very dark place. And it's just sad that they have to do this, but that's why Kayla Harrison is my daily dog.
Yeah, and she's my daily dog too because she went very viral for us in terms of our posts. So hats off to you, Kayla Harrison.
Cutting that weight. I don't agree with that they should do it. I really think they should make more weight classes.
It's an unfortunate thing that they have to do.
It's stupid.
Dude, she weighs like 155.
Yep. Yeah.
At least in the 150s. And then for her to get down to 135, but then in the cage, she looks 155 is just nuts that they can gain that much weight back. But when it's the majority water weight, you just got to rehydrate, and then you're like a sponge. Like,
and that's
she was like SpongeBob when he's all.
Yeah, she didn't have any color to her. Then when she rehydrated, she just looked glowing again. But I mean, we would have a better result too because then these fighters won't be killing themselves 2 days before fighting in a cage, and so then you would have a much better result. These guys would, it's like taking the Super Bowl, where if you were to have the NFC and AFC championship, and then 3 days later you play the Super Bowl, like that's a horrible result.
Well, yeah, and you've seen guys and girls walking up to the weigh-ins, like about to fall over, and there's no way you can tell me that you're at 100% later that night to fight when you were just in that state 4 or 5 hours ago.
They're normally fighting about 2.5 days later, but that's never enough time to recover from putting your body through that because the damage you're doing on your kidneys is just insane. Dude, my brother was a strong weight cutter. He fought at a really low weight class. I want to say it was like 105 when he was wrestling, but I just remember him eating like tuna all the time and just looking awful. Man, I felt so bad for him, and Then I'd be eating hamburger helper around them and
You're
stuff.
like, I don't
Man.
give a shit.
Yeah, I ain't cutting weight.
I'm not weighing 105, man.
Goddamn right.
But
Double that weight.
That right now, that one's sitting at almost 170,000 views on TikTok.
Sweet.
So
Nice.
nice. Yeah.
Yep.
Got us some followers, so thank you guys for that. We appreciate it. Make sure to tell a friend.
Yeah, but she did go on, and that's why she's the Daily Dog, because she not only went through that weight cut, she goes on to beat Juliana Pena in that championship fight, and she did it by submitting her with a Kimura in the second round with just 5 seconds remaining.
And that's like one of the toughest submissions too.
Oh yeah, it's just so badass because you could either you're if they don't tap, you're gonna break their arm.
Yeah.
It's the total fulcrum. If nobody knows what a Kimura is, it's like somebody will normally take one hand on their elbow, and because then they'll have like mostly body control, and she had side control, and they torque your arm back like this.
Yeah.
Got to watch the YouTube, see what's going on. And that just goes to show you how bad it hurt, because Pena couldn't last 5 seconds.
No, yeah, she tapped right away. And there was a cool moment. I mean, obviously there was a lot of back and forth and a lot of bad blood before the fight, but then afterwards they both kind of like prayed for each other and had a really cool moment. And then Kayla Harrison calls out the great one. And now we're looking at a super fight coming up.
It's very much needed for the women's division, because they really haven't had any big fights over the last maybe 4 or 5 years. It's going to be pretty awesome to see, because if they're able to make this happen, I think that it's going to be interesting to see if Kayla can make the weight again.
Yeah.
Or if Dana might fucking wise up and be like, all right,
let's let him fight.
You're going to vacate that title, and we're going to make a new one called middleweight, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Yeah. And it's going to be 145.
Yeah, because even Amanda has to drop weight to get down to 135.
And she's not even in the testing pool yet. So she's going to have to go through 6 months of testing before she can get, like, fight. And so, in the post-fight conference, when they were talking to Dana, they asked him, like, is this bigger than Amanda Nunes versus Cyborg? And he goes, yeah. Easily. Yeah. And that's what's awesome. Is like that was considered one of the biggest fights ever in women's division.
Because this is going to be kind of for like the queen of the bantamweights, so to speak. Like if she beats, Amanda Nunes, then Kayla Harrison is probably like. I mean, they're going to have a rematch if she wins. I mean. There'll probably be a rematch either way because you got to make money. But, I think either way it'd be entertaining.
Yeah, she was like really owning PFL for a long time. Now she's 19-1. And so, I think Nunes has 1 or 2 losses on her record. But, either way, this is going to be an epic fight coming. And UFC's kind of been starving for that in both men's and division. Actually,
yeah. I mean, even the Merab fight was kind of
it wasn't everybody, because everybody. That's the thing, is like when you have a guy like Sean, if you don't get that walk-off knockout, you're let down.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just how it is. I'm glad Merab gave us a little bit more of it. He had a finish. I'm glad it didn't go the distance, but the rest of the fights were great. Dude, that one dude, Wu, he knocked that guy out in 13 seconds. You see that one?
Yeah,
that was badass. There's some really good fights that night. But this upcoming weekend, to close out the UFC segment, this is awesome. You got Kamaru Usman going up against Joaquin Buckley, who had the famous spinning back kick knockout.
Yep.
Then right under that, the co-main event for just a fight night, our Colorado girl and newly baptized Rose Namajunas.
Oh, nice.
So Thug Rose. So it's a good fight night. Just for like the next 3 or 4 weeks, or pretty much the summer. It's just stacked. Good fights each weekend.
Nice. Yeah. Hell yeah.
He takes advantage of these non-football weeks.
Yeah, sure. You got to. And with the final and the finals being spaced out right now, you can kind of take advantage of that as well. So.
It was set in stone today, too, that it is September 10th or 13th, I think, that Canelo versus Terrence Crawford will be happening in Vegas on Netflix.
Canelo.
Yep,
I always like watching Canelo talk shit because it's funny.
Oh yeah, he's a gangster, man. Yeah, but that's probably one of the biggest like boxing super fights in decades, man.
Yeah, I mean probably since like Floyd back before he just fought everybody.
Floyd and Manny,
yeah,
and then Floyd and Oscar De La Hoya. I'd say that's probably up there with this, but it might be better because of both of them's resume.
Yeah, Canelo's a badass, so that'll be a good fight in the boxing ring.
Yeah,
but let's hit F1 and then play some music.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. That's right.
They're up there in Canada.
Yep, they're in Canada there, eh? Or actually, I think they're more in the French Canadian, don't you know?
What province are they in, do you know?
I don't know where it is, but the Canadian GP is happening this weekend. So we are looking forward to see if, McLaren is just going to continue dominating the podium.
I mean, it really seems like that's just going to keep happening. I'm pretty interested to see how this is going to play out. Can Max bounce back from the tantrum that he had last time and try to avoid getting a penalty point and suffering a race ban? But, man, look at this track. There is not a lot of curves. This could really favor Max, though, because he's really good in circuits.
Yeah,
like
they seem to struggle in the corners against the McLaren, so that will be a definite benefit for him.
We could see some good overtakes in there. There's a lot of straightaways. There's like 3 or 4 straightaways.
It might be one of the more entertaining races we've watched in a little bit.
Let's hope so.
So I'm going to butcher this. It's the Circuit Guilles Villeneuve, and it is on Notre Dame Island in Montreal, Quebec.
Oh, Montreal. Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. But yeah, it starts at noon Mountain Standard Time, so that's pretty sweet for us.
It's a regular time for once. I don't got to wake up and start watching it immediately after I get out of bed.
Yep.
But there was some other news, too. There's a little bit of a change to the Formula 1 2026 calendar.
They added a new venue, right?
Yes, we have the Madrid GP in Spain, and then they are getting rid of Imola. So the Italian Grand Prix there in Imola will no longer be held as.
And they added Madrid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was the one that got the axe, so to speak. It also apparently they have contracts with these Grand Prix tracks where they race the Grand Prix, and theirs expired in May. So that was the last race.
Oh,
so until next time or whatever.
I
So
wonder how long Monaco will last then.
Monaco's date has been moved from its traditional slot at the end of May to early June, meaning it no longer clashes with the Indianapolis 500, which would give Zach Brown the ability to be at both races. I guess he would usually pick one or the other. So since McLaren races,
yeah,
both
they were
the
trying
Indy,
to win McLaren in both.
Yeah, they were trying to double down. There's something that they call it when you do that, but there's another guy who tries to race. It's like 2 races in one day. I forget what it's called, but it's he tries to race the Indy 500 and like the NASCAR race that day too, and then travel and then go race the other race. So, people are wild.
That's
man.
nuts, man.
People be crazy.
Just need to chill.
Just chill, man. Just chill. Well, let's get into the music break. I'm throwing a little curveball this week, and I'll tell you why. On the 12th, it is the anniversary of Doc Holliday. Doc Brown. No. Throwing the no-hitter on LSD.
Oh, Doc Ellis.
Doc Ellis.
Yeah.
Great intro, Chris. Yes, Doc Ellis. The anniversary of him throwing the no-hitter on LSD is in
what is that,
it's the 12th.
50 years or something, or what is it?
Oh, man, I don't know what it was.
Okay.
Doc Ellis. Let's see here. Let's no-hitter date.
I thought it was
1970. June 12, 1970. 55 years.
Yeah.
So,
wow. So what music are you going to be playing in reference to that?
I'll tell you right now. It's by a singer-songwriter by the name of Todd Snyder, and it's called America's Favorite Pastime, and it is about Doc Ellis doing just that, throwing a no-hitter on LSD.
Oh, that's cool.
Doc Ellis didn't think he was pitching that day back in 1970 when he and his wife took a trip to the ballpark a little bit differently. So by the time that he hit the bullpen, half the world had melted away. That's about the time Coach Murtaugh came and said, Doc, you're pitching today. Taking the mound, the ground turned into the icing on the birthday cake. The leadoff man came up and turned into a dancing rattlesnake. crowd tracked back and forth in waves of color underneath the sun. That ball turned into a silver bullet, his arm into a gun. I took a look all around the world one time. I finally discovered you can't judge a book. 3 up, 3 down for 3 straight innings and a 0-0 tie. As all those batters' names come ringing from a voice out of the sky, hallucinating Halloween scenes, each new swing of the bat. His sinker looked like it was falling off a table, but nobody was hallucinating that. I took a look all around the world one time, finally discovered you can't judge a book. By the top of the 7th, he was up 1-0 and giving them Padres fits. By the bottom of the 8th, he was up 2-0 and still hadn't got any hits. But with 1 out left to go in the game, the batter looked like a baby child. That birthday cake was shaking, them waves of color was going wild. By the time that he mowed the last man down, he as high as he had ever been. Laughing to the sound of the world going round, completely unaware of the wind. And while the papers would say he was scattered that day, he was pretty as a pitcher could be. The day Doc Ellis of the Pittsburgh Pirates threw a no-hitter on LSD. I took a look all around the world one time. I finally discovered you can't judge a book.
That's right.
Nice.
You can't judge a
Good
book.
song, man. Where'd you find that at?
I realized that was coming up. I forget what I was looking up, and I was like, I'm gonna make a post and schedule it, and it's been scheduled forever. But somehow I found that song, and I was like, oh shit, that's a good song.
Yeah, that's badass, dude.
So
That's
yeah,
fucking cool.
I've been listening to that Todd Snyder guy too a little bit. He's got some pretty good songs. That's off his 2009 album, and it's titled "The Excitement Plan."
Hell yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty damn good song. It's a great story song. You know, it tells the whole thing.
Yeah, if anybody's ever interested too, if they got like ESPN Plus or anything like that, go
There's a good
find.
30 for 30,
Yeah,
isn't there?
it's called No, a documentary about Doc Ellis's no-hitter.
Yeah, he was a wildcat.
Yes, indeed.
Well, let's get into a little bit of the NBA here and discuss what's going on in the NBA Finals.
One game.
Right side to Scott. 4 seconds.
Yeah.
3 seconds left. Why they not fouling? Jumper Murray. Denver bounce.
Pump fake for 2. Kobe shot the Laker record. 81-point game. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed the second greatest scoring performance in NBA history.
T, come on. I'm burning. My legs are burning.
My legs are burning. Yes, so we are here. It just happened. The finals are happening.
Tied up 1-1.
1-1, yes. Eerily similar to how the Western Conference Finals kind of started out as well.
That's what I thought too when they said that like the Pacers were losing for 47 point.
Yeah, I think they actually edged out the Nuggets in leading less time.
Yeah.
And winning a game.
Oh, that was crazy, man. I mean, now Tyrese Halliburton, I think, has the record for like the most like game winners with 5 seconds left to go in the playoffs. I mean, he's just cold-blooded. I cannot believe he's done this for the 4th time. So game 1, the Thunder were pretty much, this is how it went. I was like, let's check in on this game.
Yeah.
They're up 9, 10 points most of the game. We finished dinner and I go start to play some Madden, and then I'm like, I got the game on my side, and we're up by 12 with like 9 minutes left to go in the 4th. And I was like, all right, they're just going to win. I turn it off. I check later and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What happened?
Halliburton.
Yes.
Hallie with the 2. Yeah, he hit the dagger too. end up winning it by the hair of their chinny chin chin, just in the nick of time.
Yep.
And Oklahoma City has a bounce back game.
They came back and they took care of business game 2.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Didn't blow them out too bad. It was just like around like the first game, around 12, 13 points, I think.
Oh, I just had it pulled up here. I'll tell you what it is. They won 123 to 107. So 16 points.
Yeah.
But yeah, SGA had another MVP game as
34 points in that one.
yeah. Yeah, that's my favorite thing is like anytime he does anything, it's MVP.
That's why he's the
performance.
MVP.
Yeah. But yeah, nobody's really watching.
Nope.
And tell them about what we got here, Chad.
Yep. So after game 1, I don't have the Nielsen ratings after game 2, but I'm sure it actually went down. But after the first game, it was the lowest rated finals game 1 since Nielsen started tracking numbers in 1988. And that's, of course, like we say with a lot of these, that's outside of the COVID years.
Yeah.
But nobody really cares about this matchup.
Yeah, and I'm sure people felt that way. And we talked about this. They probably felt that way about the Nuggets and Miami, finals too, in 2023. But
I don't know, man. I would like to do some research and kind of find out where. I'm sure it's middle of the pack, but you got all of Siberia, all of like that.
That's true.
That's kind of watching it. Then you got Miami that's watching it, and then of course Denver. So I bet, they did decent numbers in it, but, you got OKC and Indianapolis, 2 very small market teams. And it doesn't seem like the NBA is doing a very good job of promoting this as well because they took
hardly any commercials for it. They just expect us to just watch it.
Well, not just that. It's the product they're putting out. What we love seeing with the finals is the new court with the big Larry O'Brien trophy on there and then the cursive finals. There was none of that. I got on Twitter after game 1, and that's all I see.
Yeah,
where's the Larry O'Brien?
Why do we just have these boring Oklahoma City Thunder? Why do we have to have a dumb court for the play or the in-season tournament?
They spend all that money on the play-in tournament for a stupid trophy nobody cares about, but then can't spend any on the NBA Finals. And then so Adam Silver took heed to that. And what he did was like, all right, we'll get some Temu Larry O'Brien trophies. So they digitized Larry O'Brien trophies on the court. So if you're there live, you don't see them. But just like
the overlay.
Like a first down marker in the NFL, you still see that. And that's an embarrassment. It just looked tacky.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't worry so much about the in-season tournament.
Yeah. I mean, how do you not have the budget to paint the court and make it look like an NBA Finals game?
Yeah, it is pretty ridiculous.
They don't, and the other thing, they didn't put patches on their jerseys.
Yeah, but they still got their jersey sponsorship patch though.
Yeah, gotta have that. But
I
don't know. The next game. Anyway, game 1 or game 3 is tomorrow night.
Yeah, they're moved back to Indiana.
Yeah.
But the Pacers did what they had to do more or less. I mean, they get the game. They steal back home court advantage. But it's going to be tough. They're going to have to. They're going to have to really.
Yeah,
get her done.
OKC's playing. I mean, they're going to be playing at home. That's going to help them a lot. I really hope they can go up 3-1. The home court advantage for OKC is huge. I mean, they constantly, every single game, they give out free shirts to the fans where it's just like whited out, and then blued out on the other side. You got to hand it out to those OKC fans. I mean, they're showing up for it. Creed Humphrey was there. That was kind of cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because he's from Oklahoma.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
cool,
yeah. But, we'll see. Tyrese Halliburton's dad's going to be there. So
he might fight somebody. He might fight SGA. Who knows?
Maybe like Boogie Cousins last night in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, we got to talk about that, man.
Man, he went nuts.
It's super weird, too, because I'm pretty sure they're at home. I think he's playing for the Vaqueros, if I'm not mistaken, which was their home. Oh, no, wait. I lied. Okay, so he was on the other team. All right, so Cousins, who's currently a member of the Guaynabo Mets, was ejected during a game against the Vaqueros de Bayamon on Monday. And it was pretty wild, man. some guys at courtside, and this is in Puerto Rico, everybody.
Yeah.
So courtside in Puerto Rico, the guys are talking shit to Boogie Cousins. Bold move, if you ask me.
He's
Dude's
huge, man.
6'10", like 300 pounds.
He looks like
He's a
DN.
monster. So those guys have some cojones, as they say.
And so Boogie decided to show his cojones.
Yeah. So they say something to him. Boogie grabs his cojones and like jerks it in their face, and then he like kind of steps towards them, and the guys give him the double birds, and then all hell breaks loose.
And then it took like 20 security guards to try to get him to the tunnel, and then once he was in the tunnel, fans started throwing drinks on him.
Yeah, then he
fell
lost it
down
again.
He slipped, and then just in the clip, you just see him pop back up, and then he was really going.
Yeah, he
crazy.
was like trying to fight the people holding him back. He lost it. I have a feeling he may not be on the Guaynabo Mets for much longer.
Hats off to you for doing that. But man, he crashed out hard.
Yeah, it was, and Boogie's he's a wild man.
He
sometimes.
he was always a good physical force when he played for the Nuggets.
Yeah, but
I always
there
appreciate
seems to
that.
be a reason why he's 1 year and done. He was on the Nuggets for a little bit. Let's not forget that.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was a physical
yeah.
force for him. It was good to have him as a backup for Jokic.
Wouldn't mind having him now. Hey, maybe come play here.
Speaking of that, did you see that video of Jokic playing this fucking weird volleyball kick game?
Oh yeah,
That was hilarious.
I've seen people play that game when they're really good at it. It looks like you're gonna have ruined hips.
By the way, you're twerking.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just
it was crazy
strange.
Serbian
It's like
games.
the net's only waist high.
Yeah,
He's in super short shorts.
yeah.
like,
Well, you got to rock the short shorts.
oh,
man.
you got to.
you
Right?
gotta-
I mean, I've got him for short
Yeah.
shorts too, but it's like Jokic in short shorts. It looks hilarious.
those shorts would probably be pretty long on us.
Oh, big time. Definitely, dude. But regardless, I kid, but I'm just glad to see he's enjoying his off season. That's all I care about.
Yeah, no, he needs to take her easy.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't play in the World, so he's well rested for the season. this year.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
But where would you like to go next, my friend?
Let's hit baseball real quick.
Let's do it. Let's hit some freaking baseball, man.
Vaughn, a juvenile delinquent in the offseason.
Let's
in
hit some
his
dingers,
major league
man.
Debut. Gonna light your ass up, meat. Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Yeah, I was really looking for some stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
I see Yankee Stanton to begin rehab assignment. He was going to be in Double-A Somerset on Tuesday night. He's missed the entire season because of severe tendon injuries to both of his elbows, but has been ramping up his work at Yankees Player Development Complex. That's pretty wild. I didn't realize he had that bad of a tendon issue in his elbows.
Yeah, that's gotta suck.
Yeah.
Well, in other news too, speaking of the Yankees, they are playing the Royals tonight, and it is Caglianone's. He's not Italian; he is Puerto Rican. I was shocked by that. Speaking of Puerto Rico, comes up again.
Yeah, there you go.
But because they were talking about him playing for Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic, I think. But yeah, so it's his debut for Kauffman Stadium and in front of the Royals home crowd. And he started off his career. If people don't remember last week, we talked about the Royals calling up this prospect, and his first hit was a really good RBI double. But, just like it is a lot of times when you get up to the big leagues, it's called the big leagues for a reason. And he went 2 for 21. But then on Sunday, he went 4 for 4. So he's starting to get his groove going on. But it looks like the Yankees right now have a 2-0 lead. But the Royals have 2 on in the bottom of the second. So we shall see. Other than that, the standings is all I've got.
Oh, I've got one other thing.
Oh, the Red Sox thing, yeah.
Oh, we don't. I mean, that was. I guess I'll talk about that real quick because it's similar to the Jack Caglione thing. This is the number 1 prospect. He was rated the number 1 prospect in May. The Red Sox call up Roman Anthony. He batted .288 with 10 homers, and I guess over the weekend had a viral 497-foot grand slam. At 21 years, 27 days, he's the youngest Red Sox player to debut since Rafael Devers, who in 2017 debuted at 20 years, 274 days, and that was on July 15th. So,
there you go.
hats off to him. He did not have a very good game though. I believe he went over and then had a unfortunate error that custom to bases. So bummer. But the thing I did want to talk about, though, because I watched this happen and it was pretty wild.
Oh, the catch from last night?
Oh, that catch,
That
yes.
was awesome.
That we could talk about that for sure. That's another thing to bring up. But did you see the pitcher who got hit in the head by his catcher's throw to second base?
The perfect comment for that was like, this is the Marlins season wrapped up in one play.
Yeah, so Miami Marlins starter Ryan Weathers pitched 3 innings after he was struck in the head by catcher Nick Forte's throw to second base after the final warm-up pitch before the bottom of the first inning. So, yeah, usually how it goes is the pitcher's going to throw, his allotted set of warm-up pitches, and then always the catcher does the throw to second base. Well, the catcher gets the ball, and Ryan Weathers turns and starts walking off of the mound. And as he starts walking, you just see the catcher wind up and just throw a fastball, and it pegs him in the back of the head.
Had to have hurt, man.
He dropped. He's like, ah! And just hit the ground.
Came off. I mean, there's another good comment that was like, well, this guy's buying him a round of beers tonight.
Well, and then you see him get up, and I just read his mouth, and he's like, fuck. He ended up leaving the game because of that.
Dude, I bet so, man. I mean, he threw it hard.
Yeah, cracked him in the back of the skull, knocked him unconscious. He's seeing stars.
Yep.
But other than that, let's get into the standings because the Rockies, I really want to talk about what they're doing.
They're killing it. Hey, we found out too because her work. They would always do like a work thing and they would get everybody Rockies tickets and then cater underneath the rock pile and do all this, and they didn't do it last year. They did a soccer game in the Rapids. Nobody showed up.
Oh, actually, dude, the Rapids are really good.
Yeah, and I told you, but it was like dead of the July, and there's no shade out there at Dick's.
Yeah, there
and
is.
So they decided to go back to the Rockies. So it's like August. We're gonna go check out. I'm glad I got to see the Rockies this year. So
it'll be fun to watch whoever they're playing.
I'll take the American League, and you can cover.
I'll take the National League. Yeah.
So the Yankees right now are killing it. Unfortunately, and like I said, they're up on the Royals right now. They are 39-25, 4 games up on the Rays. And then in the Central Division, the Detroit Tigers, 43-24, the best team in baseball right now. 7 games up on the Twins. And that division just sucks because the Royals are doing decent. They're 2 games up over 500, but they're currently 4th in that division, just over the White Sox, who are 20.5 games out.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Then you got the Astros at 36-29, 3 games up on the Mariners.
Yeah, and then moving into the National League, we have the East, and the New York Mets with 42 wins, 24 losses are leading. The Phillies are right behind them, 38-28, followed by the Atlanta Braves, 28-37. Moving to the Central Division, the Chicago Cubs, 40-26, doing really well this year. Cincinnati Reds right behind them, 34-33, and the St. Louis Cardinals, 36-30. Crazy news, though, is the Pittsburgh Pirates, man. Having one of the best pitchers in baseball and being this bad is just crazy. What
you're gonna give his numbers?
Well, this is just one of them. So Paul Skeens today, this was from, I believe it was yesterday, 7.2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. He ended up with a no decision. His ERA is now 1.88 on the year, and he has 1 win in his last 7 starts, despite having a 1.12 ERA.
That's what I was gonna say. He's 1-8,
dude,
and his ERA is like Cy Young level. But the rest of the team sucks so bad.
I know, and they say they're not going to trade him, and it's just like, dude, you're nuts. You could rebuild your team.
He could try to like force his way out of there or something because he's a superstar, man.
Yeah,
they're ruining him.
It's crazy. You look at the Pirates' run differential; they're -54. So,
wow.
Moving to the West, the Los Angeles Dodgers 40-27, San Francisco Giants, who are taking on the Rockies, I believe it's tonight, 38-28. The Padres 37-28. The Rockies 12-53. Their run differential -198.
Wow. Oh my god, dude, that. Oh, whoa! I see that number there.
They have a
crazy
0.185 win percentage.
Damn, dude.
6-25 at home, 6-28 away.
I don't think we brought it up. They are still 14th in league attendance.
Oh yeah, dude,
they're great.
The Mets,
their fans are showing up.
No,
but you
it's
go
the
when
Mets.
The
like
what?
this weekend, it was mostly Mets fans,
Yeah.
and they were sold out. There's like 40
Everybody's transplants here. That's true.
But yeah, I mean, it still is a great ballpark.
Well,
and
you
you're
look at-
downtown.
yeah,
go
you
get
look at
drinks
when they
after.
went to Miami and won like 2 games, I think. There was
Yeah,
like
they
a
did.
total of 50 people in that stadium.
Yeah,
So, and that's Miami where there's a lot more to do.
yeah,
But
Miami.
yeah,
Welcome
so
to
hats off to the Rockies fans for still showing up.
Yeah, part of me wishes they wouldn't, but because then they might not make money and be like, oh, we better do something about being terrible. But what are you gonna do?
They aren't.
Not a damn thing. Well, let's get into the NHL. Well, I think everybody knows that the Stanley Cup Final is over, and it was pretty apparent last night when Edmonton also became aware of that fact, as they just went full, let's goon this game up because we're getting our asses kicked.
Yep.
I didn't even tune in to watch this one because by the second period, it was already a blowout, and then in 6-1, Florida is a force. I don't, there's some bad blood here, obviously. I think some of that was why they let it get out of hand last night in terms of Edmonton, but it just felt like, like the little brother when he goes rage because you've been picking on him for so long. That's kind of what it felt like.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Panthers are favored on Thursday. I don't really see a way Edmonton's going to beat them 3 games to win this thing. They're pretty outmatched, and then Stuart Skinner, who's been the main reason why they've been doing so well with his save percentage throughout the playoffs. There's no answer for what the Panthers are doing to him, and he ends up getting pulled. They put a former Avalanche, Calvin Pickard, in last night to try and stop the bleeding, and
Didn't really help.
not looking good here.
Well, I like if you saw the video from the locker room of the Panthers too, they just seemed like much more of a brotherhood. Rather than with the Oilers, you got a few stars, superstars.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you look at that game 2 assist by McDavid. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That was nasty, man.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got moves, but then it's like these superstars versus a brotherhood.
Yeah, well, and then you've got like guys like Brad Marchand who came over from Boston, and he's kind of become like that crutch for the Panthers, being the old vet and just being that guy who he's part of the reason why I think Edmonton did start to get chippy really quick, just because of the way he plays. He's definitely that kind of ratty, like get under your skin and make you hate him.
Some cheap shots and stuff. Yeah.
So
I think there was a total of like 127 penalty minutes in that game. Like some of the most ever,
I'm surprised people didn't get thrown out because it just got crazy there for a little bit.
At one point, it was 5-on-5, all 10 fighting.
Yeah, dude, you gotta have a good line fight. It just rarely happens in the Stanley Cup Final. That's usually like a team that'd be like the Red Wings and the Avalanche. Like a natural hatred's been born. But
this is a rematch of the final, so I'm sure these guys are kind of sick of seeing each other too. So
yeah, and then it sucks to lose, and then also this year just kind of be getting bullied. And not really having an answer. I don't see a way the Oilers got a chance here. Yeah. But crazier things have happened. But yeah, the Panthers are looking like a force. And then I was going to look it up because I mentioned this last week, but I wanted to mention it again. The Panthers cap space for like the next 3 years.
Isn't it like the most somehow?
Yeah.
Oh, that is.
I don't know. They've worked it out pretty well for themselves. Oh shit, I can't find it now. But yeah, I know the next couple years they have some of the most cap space available, and they've back-to-back Stanley Cup Final. potentially back-to-back Stanley Cup Final champions, and I just don't see how anybody is going to be able to get past them in the Eastern Conference. So hats off to them. I'm going to give it to them already because I think by next week we could be talking about who won the Stanley Cup Final.
It seems like it might be a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah.
Yep.
If that. So
next game's on Thursday.
yes, indeed. But let's get into... Is that it? No, PGA? Yeah. I guess we
we'll just talk about the U.S. Opens June 12th through the 15th.
Yeah, it's happening. Yep. It sounds like all the players are scared of Oakmont, where it is being held this year. It sounds like Rory shot an 80 at one of his practice rounds, which is pretty terrible for a PGA golfer. So, but Scheffler, I'm pretty sure. Let me look here. Who is favored?
I'm sure it's probably him.
Rory's actually the third favorite at plus 1100. I'm trying to see. This isn't. I thought this was going to have it just laid out. Oh, Scotty Scheffler plus 280, Bryson DeChambeau plus 700, Rory McIlroy plus 1100, Jon Rahm plus 1200, Xander Schauffele plus 2200. So as per the usual, Scotty Scheffler against everybody else.
Yeah. He's been the hottest golfer in May. So
yeah.
See how it goes.
The Rockies are kicking his ass in June, though. What? Oh, man. Sad. It's just terrible. Well, let's get into the daily dose of excellence. I think that's it.
Yep.
All right, let's get out of here. DDOE coming at you. Grip it, rip it, hit it hard, man.
I hit it hard, man. So far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man. Till it's gone, man. Keep taking chances, living large. I hit it hard.
Yes.
Okay.
It's getting too expensive to do things, man.
Yeah.
You know?
It's expensive to go to concerts.
It's ridiculous.
Especially here in the Denver market where there's a lot of venues. I've seen prices in Kansas City, and they are far different than here.
Well, it sucks because AXS and the other
Ticketmaster.
Not Ticketmaster. There's another company.
Live Nation.
AXS and Live Nation own like 75% of the venues in Denver, and they've been everybody over on ticket prices.
Yeah.
So,
well,
Red Rocks is the biggest perpetrator because they really they hold on to the ambiance of Red Rocks and make you pay for it.
Yeah, it's rough. It used to be a lot more affordable to go there, and so that's why you got to give hats off to Mr. Zach Bryan. There was a date that opened up August 10th, and so they offered it to him. And since it's kind of a short notice because of the high demand for tickets, Zach Bryan is surprising fans with one more show of the year. He will headline Red Rocks Amphitheater on August 10th, 2025. In addition to the surprise announcement, he shared that he's making the show affordable for fans. He said, this is what he said on Instagram, wasn't planning on playing this, but a spot opened up and I wanted to play an affordable show for fans. None of these tickets will be more than $50 plus the fees. Register now through Friday, June 13th. And he said for the last chance, and then it's all the details and stuff. But yeah, it's sick because there's so many super expensive shows right now that are nuts. I mean, Dan's going to the Post Malone concert and Jelly Roll concert this Sunday, and I mean, he's got like super close seats. They got some really good ones, but they paid, I think it was like, it was
a chunk.
It was a big chunk for that.
Yeah. No, I don't doubt it. But that is cool, man. I do like the fact that I'm sure these tickets are still going to get picked up and sold crazy on the secondary market somehow. Yeah. Maybe not. They are finding ways around that, but it is pretty cool that he's doing that, man. $50 for a show at Red Rocks is insane.
Huge, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, and that's what's cool is that's why I love SDS9 is a lot of times when I go, I mean, I'll pay $45-$50 for their shows too.
Oh,
that's why. But I get like the pre-sale and stuff because if you subscribe to their Bandcamp and everything, you kind of get access to the tribe. Yeah. So that's what sucks is you have to like be a part of like stuff like that instead of just getting tickets. But like I told Chris, String Cheese is doing something like that this weekend where if you go get face value tickets from Denver Coliseum, if you ever can't find, if it's not sold out, Go to Denver Coliseum on Saturdays from 11 to 3, and you can just get a regular. It's almost like an antique,
A paper
hard ticket with the barcode. But String Cheese is doing a cool thing where you'll get like a signed custom poster with it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, hats off to Zach Bryan for understanding this, because you know that like what he has to do here is just. He's probably not making any money from this. I'm sure he's getting a lot of publicity. He's getting to play for his fans, but he could easily charge Red Rocks a ton of money and charge AXS. And what they're probably doing is like he's probably taking his take way down, and they're getting the rest of it.
Yeah, I'm interested to like if I doubt we'll ever see this, but like the breakdown of it, like is who's taking the hit here, and it's probably him for the most part.
Oh, I guarantee
don't see
you,
them.
AXS isn't going to back down.
I mean, maybe they gave him a discount because they really needed to fill that date or something, but
Maybe.
I still don't see him doing that.
No, not at all.
So yeah, that is cool, and I'm sure he'll make up for it in merch sales, because that's pretty much the only way musicians make money nowadays is touring and merch sales.
And he's got a bunch of good songs too. That 28 is really good.
Yeah.
Number one. I Remember Everything. He's got some good hits.
I haven't really gone down his rabbit hole yet, but
Really good songwriter. He got
yeah.
famous from just doing like someone recorded him.
It was like-
it comes like clips.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was kind of like
TikTok,
Billy
too.
Strings too. Like there was that clip of Billy Strings playing "Dust in the Baggie" when he was like 16 years old on mushrooms,
Yeah.
and that like blew him up.
Yeah.
You
Now
know?
he's super famous.
Now he's super duper famous, and people
Yeah.
follow him around like the Grateful Dead, man.
That's right.
It's crazy.
Well,
That's it.
that
man.
brings us to the end of 136.
Yep. The
Next week,
end, my
we might be
friend.
having on a Steelers guy to talk about this Aaron Rodgers trade. It's
We're
not
trying to
set in
get
stone
one.
yet. We're trying to get him on.
But they are all busy with Aaron Rodgers
And
stuff.
mini camp
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
It's like, oh, we got mini camp. It's like, oh yeah, I'm there too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, super
But-
cool.
But anyways, yeah, we'll be at mini camp one day. I'll bring Chad to the Broncos mini camp.
Definitely not. Throw a bomb down there.
Yeah, dude, don't say that. The cops are gonna show up. We're gonna get swatted. Yeah. On that note, it's time for us to leave. We thank you all for joining us for episode
We do
136.
appreciate it.
We will be back next week, like Chad said. We might have a guest, we might not. It might just be the two of us.
With our
Just
shirts off,
the
just partying.
two of us. But on that note, we love each and every one of you. Thanks for joining us, Chadley. I love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy. See you next week.
Toodaloo.